It's time for Tastemaker Talk, the podcast for food creators who want to level up their business and make an impact in the creator economy. I'm Abby Rodriguez.
And I'm Chandace Probst. We're your hosts and fellow food content creators here to dive deep into the trends, tools, and topics shaping the industry around us. There's so much to uncover, so let's talk about it. Tastemaker Talk.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Tastemaker Talk. This is our podcast for food content creators who are trying to scale their businesses. And we are not the faces you might be used to seeing when you watch Tastemaker Talk, and we're not even the voices you might be used to hearing when you listen. My name is Daphne. I am the operations and communications manager for Tastemaker Conference, and I am joined by my dear friend Leslie.
Hello.
Do you want to say your title? I don't know how. I mean, we do have an episode in our library where we talk about our titles.
Yeah, so I'm Leslie. I'm the director of operations. Yes, Daphne and I work very closely together, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we are here in the Kit studio to record today in Boise, Idaho. We've been at Craft and Commerce this week, and it's been a really great experience. And so while we were in the area, we figured that we needed to hop in and make use of this beautiful space. And we have to tell you, it's 7:30 in the morning. We're in the Champagne Problems recording room.
Drinking champagne.
They said,
What?
"Do you want champagne?" We said, "Sure,
Of course."
bring it on." So with that, let's do a little cheers. Cheers.
Go around the mic.
Cheers to Craft and Commerce, and cheers to being here with you today. This is so fun. So we wanted to talk today about our experience at Craft and Commerce. We came to support because Kit is one of our sponsors who has been around since almost the beginning.
The whole time.
Yeah. And Haley Janchek is also on our board, and we love working with her. And so we wanted to come to Craft and Commerce. I'd never been. Leslie had been.
This is my second year, and it did not disappoint. Just like year one, so much fun. And you can hear the rasp in my voice.
Yes.
Just all of the talking and networking and dancing and partying from last night.
Yelling, screaming, hyping each other up on the dance floor.
Mhm.
Yeah, that I also was going to mention when I talked about the time that we were at the closing party last night.
And I love a closing party. If you know me at all, I live to be on the dance floor. Not that I'm good at it, but
I think you are. I think
Thank
you give
you.
yourself not enough credit because the dance floor is like, let's think about this breakdown. I would say it's like 30% skill and 70% vibe.
yeah, I got the vibes for sure.
Totally.
That 70% makes up for it. It's passing.
It does. It totally does. And I also love the closing party. It's something we've adopted at Tastemaker starting last year as well,
Mhm.
because it's a really fabulous way to end the conference and just like get together with everyone.
And let loose. Because
Yes.
you've been like working your tail off.
Yes. So anyway, we attended Craft and Commerce, which is different than what we usually, events were usually the organizers.
Mhm.
Which would you say is more exhausting, organizing or attending?
Organizing 1,000%. Not to say that attendees are not exhausted,
Yeah.
because that is definitely real. But I mean, we are up so early and so late every day.
Mhm.
And then just like the mental load that you have to carry. And with, attending, it's just like drinking from a fire hose.
Yeah.
But I would not say they are the same. What do you think?
No, I would agree that it has been really fun to be an attendee. Like, not only from the perspective of like gathering inspiration and just being like, oh my gosh, like that's such a good idea, because Kit has so many good ideas.
Mhm.
But it's just fun to kind of like put yourself in the other position. And I do love being able to go at the end of the session or the end of the day and lay down in the hotel.
Yeah, I took a nap.
Yeah.
I don't get to do that.
I know.
At our event.
I know, we're just running like crazy. So with that said, like the Kid team, it also was fun to be able to have the like being able to know both sides and seeing the KIT team at the event and like how hard they're working and knowing how much dedication they've put into it. They did a great job. So with that being said, we were in yesterday's like closing keynotes, and they had a rapid fire session where they brought out experts, audience member, like
they were just audience.
Yes. But audience members, because at Craft and Commerce, everyone is doing something
amazing,
incredible. Yes. So that's why I said experts, because it's like, yeah, they're just people who are at the event. They bought a ticket like we did, but they are
at a higher level.
Well, they're just innovating in really cool ways and like doing exciting things. So during that session, they asked a few rapid fire questions to their panelists. I mean, would you call them panelists?
It was one at a time.
Right.
Sure.
So sure, they're people that they brought on stage. They asked a few rapid fire questions, and I want to steal them and ask them to you today. I was trying to think of a way to say it that was more like
we have
diplomatic.
stolen this from Craft and Commerce, everyone.
But they're just so like, they capture exactly what I hoped to talk to you about today.
Yeah.
About the conference and what we learned, and also just about like mindset and kind of some personal reflections. It's just a really good mix. So I thought, why not go through those questions today? So that's what we're going to do.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So the first question is, what's working right now?
What is working right now? Honestly, like our team has said this like in our meetings right now, and knock on wood. Is this real wood? Things feel like they're going really well with Tastemaker. We're at a really good pace. We are like way more ahead than we've ever been with like getting speakers onboarded and getting our programming together, and with like getting our amazing sponsor signed. So I feel like that's really working, and it's so fun to feel like, oh my gosh, we still have 6 months and we're like at this spot already.
Yeah, I mean, we're already looking into like, usually we're working towards the next event, which like obviously we're still doing. But I feel like because of the pace that is going well, we're already able to start thinking like beyond 2027 and like,
yes,
what's going to happen
looking into 2028.
Yes, and like even what's going to happen like, March of 2027, like things that we've always wanted to do, but because of the pace or like, venue constraints, whatever, we haven't had like the bandwidth to actually implement.
Yeah. And what I think is actually cool about that too, like trying to really be more on top of like getting things done more quickly, is I do feel like it's opened up some bandwidth that we didn't think that we had, but now we have the bandwidth because we weren't procrastinating. And I don't want to say that like we were full on procrastinating, but we probably did a little bit.
Yeah, because the thing about an event is like there are milestones you have to meet, but truly not a whole lot has to be in place until you like get there. You know what I mean? And especially when you're working in like the marketing side, like I am, and like copywriting, we have like sales funnels and whatever. And there's always something else to be doing that's more like pressing, I think, or like the deadline is sooner. And so sometimes it's easy to be like, okay, I'll just think about that, like, when I'm there or the week before, like whatever. But being a little bit more strict with ourselves has actually opened up like a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
Love that.
What a great lesson.
Oh no.
Daphne's spilling.
No, I'm not. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Something else that I think is working right now is the podcast, getting it off the ground. I think it was April of last year that we were like, okay, we're going to actually like try. Yeah, we need to like kind of lock in and source guests and make a calendar and like
and have a strategy behind it.
Yes. And even, set up, record an intro, like make it an official production.
Yeah.
And we're still very minimal. We don't have a recording studio like this.
What are you talking
at
about?
Our disposal.
This is ours.
But I think it's working well. And I'm really excited about some of the people we have coming on in the near future. And I also think we'll just continue to grow and have cool conversations. So thanks for being here. That's
question
what I'm saying. Yeah, that's question 1.
Okay.
Second question. One thing you tried in the last 12 months that didn't work.
What haven't I tried that didn't work? I don't know. I know we were kind of thinking about this question, and that's a hard question.
It's a vulnerable
It
question.
is a very vulnerable question. To go into the easy part of it first, just like something silly is at our event in January was just trying to get things there on time with shipping issues.
Yeah.
And that was tricky.
Yeah.
That didn't work. We didn't have swag bags on time. They did come.
And we had to adapt and pivot, which is kind of what running and organizing an event is all about.
Yeah.
Like you're a professional pivoter, basically.
Professional. That's like a really good LinkedIn, like those little things you put about yourself. Professional pivoter. I love that.
Wait, I'm trademarking that personally.
But it's also going on mine.
Okay, I love that. What's mine? Okay, mine's more personal, like personal life, not professional life. But my husband and I just bought a house in February 2025. So we've been there.
I don't know. I'm so scared. This mic is like so good at
picked up
my stomach gurgle. I'm hungry.
Drink up. That's what that means. So we just bought a house recently, and we tried to plant some flowers, just like some marigolds, I think.
Okay.
Dead, dried up, didn't work whatsoever.
Did you water them?
Well, that's not my domain. So,
you know, that this is like you said, I planted flowers and my ears perked up.
I know.
So,
which, speaking of flowers and plants, Nicole Burke was one of the keynotes.
Yes, from Gardenary Co. If you are not familiar with her on a first name basis, like we are now.
Nicole, and her keynote was really fantastic. So if there's any way you can hear it, I don't know if they're recording or publishing anything after the conference.
Yeah, her whole session was you can have it all at once, which is a really fun thought because I do feel like there is a lot of like, can I have it all?
Pick, like choose 3, health, family, good sleep, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not the exact ones, but.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I don't can't remember what they were.
No, me either.
Health, family.
I'll find it. I'll find the reel she was referencing and like link it in the show notes or something. Question 3 is your biggest takeaway from craft and commerce, which we just kind of talked about Nicole Burke, but was there anyone else that stood out as a speaker or something they said that like is going to stay with you for a while?
Yeah, there's a couple. We heard from Jay Papasan. I thought his was really great.
And this is like an exclusive, but he's recording in the room next to us right now.
Yes, I was very excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope that we get done at the same time.
Yeah. What did you like about his?
Really vulnerable. So I went to 2 of his sessions. He had a main stage keynote session. And that one was really vulnerable. And he just talked about going through the storms of life and like trying to run a business and, you know, be a professional human while navigating humanity.
Yeah.
And then the session that I went to after was the workshop, and he gave us like a whole workbook. We didn't get through all of it, obviously.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll share it with you.
Okay.
And we just kind of like chatted through some steps. Like he has like a whole framework of like doing those things. And something I thought was interesting that was kind of sourced from the crowd, and it kind of goes back to what we just talked about with, goodness, this morning is rough, with like being ahead of schedule and getting your time back. He talked about having speedy meetings, like cutting your meetings from an hour to 50 minutes, like building that in so that you have 10 minutes to go to the bathroom or like whatever in between meetings, or just have 10 minutes to do something productive. And he said, make sure you're not wasting that time, you know, like just hopping on your phone and scrolling TikTok for 10 minutes instead. Like figure out what you're going to do with those 10 minutes specifically.
Ahead of time.
Yes. And he even was talking about like, do you have a weekly meeting that you could turn into a bi-weekly meeting? So like if you have a weekly 30-minute meeting, turn it into a 45-minute bi-weekly meeting instead, just to get back your valuable time.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Like, I mean, I only work part-time. Everyone, if you didn't know that.
She works part-time, but she is a superhuman. And so she runs shit part-time. So go ahead.
Yeah. So like, that's really important to me because I just have a limited amount of time that I'm actually working. And I'm like, yeah, I could cut some meetings to 50 minutes instead and work on this task for 10 minutes instead. Or like run to the bathroom so that I'm not late to my next meeting.
Mm-hmm. I think that's really cool. And that's just interesting that, like, I think the tendency sometimes, and this is for people who are meeting with, maybe you're meeting with brands, or maybe you do have a small team, or, whoever you're meeting with your kid's teacher or whatever. I think the tendency is sometimes like the more you do it or the more you have to say or like whatever, that it's more productive. But I believe that being able to be efficient, like efficiency is one of my like values as a human. And I think it's one of the most respectful things you can do for everyone is like sticking to a time and giving people their time back. So I love that. And that's something I could be better at for sure. Especially, I will say, when you work remote.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, we have our weekly and we haven't talked to another adult that day, or like, so you get on with your friend.
And you spend the first 15 minutes just yapping.
Exactly. Which I think is fine. But maybe what he's saying and like the principle of it is like account for that in your planning.
Yeah. Well, he just said like be on your shit.
Yeah.
Can we swear on our podcast?
I just said shit.
Okay.
I also can bleep it after, but I think it's okay.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I think our listeners are grown-ups, so it's fine.
The FCC is not going to get me or whatever it is.
No, I like that a lot. I have a lot of takeaways. I was scribbling notes a lot of the time, but based on what you just said, my one takeaway from Captain Commerce.
Yes, please be more concise, Daphne.
Is from Gabby. What is her last name? I'm acting like she's my bestie. And I'm all weekend long. I've just been like.
Entreprenista?
No.
Oh.
All weekend long.
Oh.
That was a great one too. Beckford? Is that her last name? I will look up her information and her last name.
Where is our producer?
I will look up her last name and add her Instagram to the show notes. But her keynote was on the business case for delusion. And I think that was a recurring theme that a few of the workshops and keynotes were emphasizing, is the idea that like you have to ask for what you want, and you have to be vulnerable and brave enough to put it out there in the world. And not to get too woo-woo, which I think was why Gabby, my close personal friend Gabby, was so powerful, is because, delusional, delulu has been like this buzzword and this Gen Z slang that kind of has this connotation of like, oh, it's very like you're manifesting, you're asking the universe and da-da-da-da-da. But hers was like, no, here's like the strategies that you can use. And here is the data and the science to prove that putting yourself out there and asking for what you want and believing that you don't have to suffer, suffering is optional, and that you can get what you want is really powerful. She gave an example of an airline company, because she's a travel creator, and she got this email from an airline company years ago, I think in maybe 2020. And they were like, we want to work with you, and gave her like a really lowball offer. And she said no. And she was so scared that like that was my shot, like that was my chance and I blew it because I'm greedy, like whatever. And she said they came back again the next year, higher offer, but still not what she wanted. No, sorry, thank you. She passed like 5 years in a row. Wow. And then they finally came back to her 5 times. Where's my camera? 5 times. They finally came back to her and offered her the offer she ended up taking. And she said it was 16 times the original offer they reached out with. So that was really powerful, like I said, data to prove that just because something comes to you, if it's not aligned, you say no. Like it'll come back to you if it's really meant for you. And that also reminded me of what Abby says a lot.
I was going to say that.
Go ahead and say it.
You don't ask, you don't get.
That's become like a little mantra between our team. And it's kind of inspired me for some things that I want to try with Tastemaker and with like dream sponsors and things like that.
I think that's interesting because like we do say like you don't ask, you don't get, but that's just like asking for something. It's not taking into account of like saying no.
Right. Right. You have to ask, but you also have to like be prepared to stand your ground and know what you're worth in a sense.
And know what you want and be like, that's not what I want.
Yeah, and not even know what you want, but know like your biggest, grandest, wildest dream. That's the delusion piece. Because it's like a lot of the time I think you're wanting to work with someone or like you have a brand in mind that you're like, I would die to work with that brand. But because you don't think you have enough followers, you don't think you have the right whatever, you're like, they would never. Like, I'm not ready yet. Let me keep working and keep getting ready, which is fine. There's truth to that too. But the delusion is like, ask.
Yeah.
And then you can learn.
Or they come to you and they're like, we'll do this for product. And you're like, this is my favorite brand in the whole wide world.
Yes.
But no, thank you.
Because, yeah, you deserve more. So that was my main takeaway, which was a long-winded one, but I did keep it to one. So
great job. You're so good. Pat on the back.
Because there were so many cool things. Maybe we'll write like a little blog post or something. We'll see. We're not
getting ahead of ourselves.
We're not getting crazy. Okay. Question 4. What is the one AI trick everyone should try? Which, to preface this, in session, they had actual like AI consultants for like multi-million-dollar companies on stage.
Yes.
So their tricks were
probably
a little bit more valuable than ours, but we do use AI to optimize and, you know, help us like everyone does in business these days.
Yes.
I hope I'm not going to get us canceled by saying that. We try to use it ethically and responsibly.
Yeah, no, I think AI is great in a certain capacity. You know, we don't need to use it for dumb things. It gets used for a lot of dumb things.
Yeah.
But it is very good for productivity and helping small teams, solopreneurs. And I would say my one AI, I have two, but I'll do one first and see what your other one is before. So we'll take it just in case. Is to try Claude. Like, that might be really basic. Some of you are like, I've been using Claude forever. Well, you know what? Guess what?
They just stopped listening. They dropped off. They were giving us a chance and they're like, all right, these two don't know anything.
Suck. No, like, because we were just using ChatGPT for like a long time. Claude has so many cool integrations. Like so one of the things that I use AI for that I get stuck on all the time is just like writing emails back. I like get in my head, even like the dumbest things. And so like Claude is right in my emails and I can just tell like, please say XYZ. And it goes, okay, and spits out this great email. Everyone's going to be like, Leslie is writing emails back to me with AI. That's not true. It's just like certain things. Okay.
Like high stakes stuff that you're like, I really want to nail the tone. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it just puts it into my email. Like, it saves me the copy and paste step, which sounds dumb, but it's very valuable in a way.
Well, and I think ChatGPT, because it was the one to like break onto the scene and become mainstream usable. That's what everyone kind of like started with or was introduced to with. I do still use ChatGPT, but
yeah, I use that more of like a search function.
Converting me to Claude slowly. You've planted the seed.
Let me water that seed.
Yeah, not like my marigolds.
So
I need to think of a better, guys, I will think of a better thing that didn't work. It's 7:30 in the morning. I'll get there.
What's your one AI?
Mine is very similar to yours, actually. Like saving the copy paste. Because why does that sometimes feel like the worst thing in the world? And especially
it
if you
doesn't
have
always
to
format sometimes.
That's what I was just going to say. You copy paste it. That's not the part that's annoying, is that you have to go through and format everything. And especially if you're using ChatGPT or whatever, even Google Docs, and then taking that and putting it into your like email server where you have these like complex layouts and, you know, you have to make a button and So mine would be to use the Kit MCP, which there's a lot of letters floating around in this conversation right now. I couldn't tell you what it stands for.
Okay,
but I went to one of the workshops yesterday, was a deliverability workshop, where they said, I recommend using the Kit MCP. And I had seen that like in our Kit account, but I get scared to like try things that will make my life easier because I like to suffer.
Well, you don't want to mess it up. You're like,
exactly.
I did it wrong, and then I sent it to thousands of people.
Exactly. So the kit MCP is basically my understanding, and I did set it up yesterday, and we're off to the races. I'm like, why did I not do this sooner? Is that it basically creates a custom app in your AI LLM, I think.
LLM?
Yeah, your LLM of choice. And it gives access to your LLM to, okay, sorry, back up. I can say that better. It gives your LLM access to your Kit account. So it can crawl your specific data, your subscribers. It can access the broadcast that we've sent and get a feel for tone and cadence. And you can then prompt directly in your LLM. Like I just type @kit now and say like, help me set up whatever sequence, like a welcome sequence, like help me work on my new welcome sequence.
Yeah. And that's like with Claude, like it integrates into so many things and it can just like crawl whatever now.
And you can put Kit in Claude too.
Yeah.
So whatever one you use.
Yeah. It's just so much easier than, because with like standard ChatGPT use, it's like copy and paste all this context.
And it's crawling like the Kit help articles and whatever, but the Kit MCP already like takes those into account, and then it also can see your specific and like data. Like you can ask it about unengaged subscribers and be like, how many and what should I do? Like it can help you strategize, things like that. So as someone who, like, we are a very small team, it's just the 4 of us. I was not formally trained in marketing, copywriting. Everyone's like, we can tell.
You do a great job.
But so as someone who, like, this was not something that I got a lot of training in, to be able to have that tool and that support has, I mean, I've only been using it a day, but it's been great. So that's my AI trick, which isn't really a trick. It's just an app.
Try the Kit MCP.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, we have 2 more. The first of the last 2 is what is one human moment from the week? And I think we both have the same one that like comes to mind. So let's just talk about that one.
Okay. Buckle up, guys.
Yeah.
You get to know the real us. So the closing party.
It was so fun.
So much fun. And, you know, we had some drinks. And what happens when you drink? You need to use the restroom. So we both went like girls do. You got to go in pairs.
Well, yeah, for safety.
Yeah,
and fun.
It's very safe here. But we went to the bathroom and we were in the stalls next to each other. And then
okay, so let me describe what I'm seeing. I'm in the stall and we are right next to each other. And I look to my right and there's the toilet paper holder, which is kind of built into the stall wall at this particular venue.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I've had 1 glass of wine. I'm not that drunk. Why is that toilet paper roll moving?
Spinning on its own.
It was spinning like this. T. And so I said, Leslie, are you getting toilet paper right now? She goes, yeah. And something clicked on in my brain. And I said, I can see you. And we both
bent over,
leaned down like this,
and we said hello.
We were like face to face. The toilet paper mechanism. And we could see each other.
Like cackled, giggled.
I was crying.
Yes, tears streaming down our faces because I just didn't expect to see you.
No, exactly. And it was so funny. I can't even describe the joy. Like, just one of those moments where you are overcome with like surprise and delight.
Yes.
And we were dying, like screaming, laughing, crying in the bathroom on the toilet. So that was a very human moment, which is just so fun to like be able to travel with your friends who you also work with. And that's a huge perk of being a creator and coming to events like this, is like you get to have those moments together.
These moments in the bathroom.
Yes,
with your
exactly.
friends.
That you could never like write, you know, like you could not make this up.
No.
But the most random things will happen to you and you bond and connect and grow closer.
And we have bonded so much.
Oh yeah. We're as close as you should be with another human being at this point, to keep things healthy. Okay, last question. Unless there's anything else that comes to mind. I mean, I think that one's...
No, I think that's great.
Yeah. There is just so much connection in general at these events, though. And especially at the closing party. I know we've mentioned it like 4 times now, but I just found myself looking around. It's like a pretty small event. And so it's not a huge, it's not like you're in this mosh pit of people.
Right.
But everyone like is so free, like,
Yeah,
and just wants to have fun.
To see people we had just met, like, really letting loose.
Cutting up on the dance floor.
And I was like, I love that for you so much.
Yeah. And it's just a fun thing to do. And I think as we get older, we stop like having as many of those experiences or opportunities to just like be a person and share an experience. And it was really nice. So I love that. Okay. Last question. Okay. What is one thing you would tell past you?
One thing that I would tell past me is like, you just to tie it into Nicole Berg, like you have it all. Like you have everything that you wanted as a child. Like I really have everything that I have the family, the job, the life that I wanted to create for myself that I didn't have when I was younger me. And it's like my favorite thing. I think about it all the time, actually, that I made this beautiful life.
I love that. That's so sweet. I feel like one thing I would tell past me, because I think we've talked before briefly on the pod about how my background is education. And I just thought that like you had to produce and you had to like be a martyr, basically.
Yeah.
To receive like respect and to like prove your value, basically. And you don't have to do that.
No,
that's
you do
what I would
not
say.
have
Like,
to be a martyr.
No, no one expects or wants or like you don't deserve to sacrifice your version of like a happy and fulfilled life to serve like a bigger, greater good. That probably makes me sound like a really bad person, but like it's your life that you have to live, and it's okay if you don't want to toil the rest of your days. Like you can find something that you really love to do and that doesn't cost you the same thing.
Well, think about all of like the successful people we know. They're not martyrs.
No.
Do they work hard? Absolutely. But they're not martyrs.
Yeah. So that's what I would say. Kind of like going back to Gabby's talk. Suffering is optional, actually. And even I would say in any circumstance, I mean, not any circumstance, but you can choose what it is you want to do and whether or not you have to suffer. So with that, cheers.
Cheers.
I put my drink down because I was just holding it and I don't have the heart to tell the very nice kit employee that poured it for us that.
Drew. Thank you, Drew.
That's why there's orange juice in it. That's true. It's healthy. It's healthy. Okay. Well, I think that is it for our craft and commerce recap. It was a really great weekend. And just thank you and shout out to the kit team again for
hosting it. Being lovely hosts. Just so fun. One thing that I do really like about their team, I'll just put this out there.
Yeah.
And they do have a large team and they really do try to talk to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we would be standing talking to people and a kit employee would just walk up and join the circle and say, "Hi, what's your name?" Which was really nice.
Yeah. And I would love to do that more at our event. It is hard when there's only 4 of us, though.
Yes.
There's only so many people we can talk to.
Yes.
While all of the event is happening. So
with that being said, though, like if you see us at the event, like we love when people come and strike up a conversation and say like, "I've been emailing you, like
it's
you
our
helped
favorite.
me with my ticket." It makes the entire event worth it to know that like we're doing this because it matters to people and we can connect with people. And so yeah, if you do see us,
please say hi.
Please say hi and
we
introduce
love it.
yourself.
Yes.
And we promise, even if we look like we're running around crazy, it would be so nice to take one moment and like, hello, and connect with someone else.
Yes.
So,
and then we'll say, "I'm so sorry, but
I have to go."
go.
But yeah, great weekend. Boise's been lovely. And by the way, it is Boise, not Boise.
Boise.
Yes, just like it's Leslie.
Not Leslie. Lots of people say Leslie because of Parks and Rec. Leslie, nope. Leslie.
She is Leslie.
Leslie.
Well, with that last little disclaimer, we're going to wrap up. So if you would like to join us for Tastemaker Conference 2027, we will be in San Antonio, and we have a lot of really exciting things planned. And like Leslie said, we already have a lot of really amazing speakers signed on, and they would love to meet you and connect with you, teach you, workshop with you. So if you don't have your ticket yet, make sure you get your ticket. This is going to come out Monday, June 15th. So I will say, we have a flash sale happening right now. It's $70 off any ticket type. We have 4 VIP tickets left. We're over halfway sold out of our general creator admission tickets. And so now would be a really good time, especially if you came to Craft and Commerce or you were like, yeah, I would love an event where I can like connect and grow with people. Now is a great time to get your ticket. And if you're listening to this podcast, we are running a very secret sale.
Yes, we are.
Abby and Janice don't know about it. They have not approved it, and we are running it anyway.
This is what happens when they send us by ourselves.
Exactly. Our heads get too big.
It's too much power.
Yeah. So we're running a sale on top of the flash sale. It's the Daphne Leslie sale, otherwise known as the DL Down Low sale. I think the code is DL30.
It is DL30.
And it will get you $30 off your ticket. So anywhere up to $100 off now through June 16th. So just make sure you purchase before June 17th and you can get that extra discount. And we'd love to see you. So thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening to Tastemaker Talk. If you enjoyed this episode, let us know by leaving a review, giving us a rating, or sharing it with your creator friends.
And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode.
You can find more from us on our website, tastemakerconference.com, or even join us for an event where we learn and grow as a community of creatives.
The conversation doesn't stop here. Talk soon.